Don't do it, you go regret am. I dey tell you, no follow that path.
In the busy city of Enugu lived two best friends who had known each other since childhood. Their names were Lisa Raymond and Joda Okafor. They grew up together, went to the same school, and shared almost everything. But even though they were best friends, they were very different people. Lisa Raymond was the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Raymond, a struggling family that lived a simple life. Lisa was known for being calm, respectful, and hardworking. She believed that even if life was difficult, honesty and patience would eventually pay off. Her best friend Joda Okafor was the only child of Mr. and Mrs. Okafor. Joda was beautiful, confident, and very bold. But unlike Lisa, Joda loved flashy things. She loved designer clothes, expensive wigs, luxury bags, and anything that made people think she was rich. The problem was, both girls were completely broke. They had both finished school but neither of them had a job. Their families were also poor and struggling. Most days, they sat outside their small neighborhood compound talking about life and their future. One hot afternoon, Joda scrolled through her phone and sighed loudly. "Look at this," she said, showing Lisa a picture on Instagram. "Look at these girls traveling to Dubai, driving big cars, living soft life." Lisa smiled slightly. "Social media is not always real, Joda." But Joda rolled her eyes. "Lisa, please. I refuse to suffer in this life. I must make money, and fast." Lisa looked at her friend carefully. "Money is good," she said gently, "but the way you make it matters." Joda laughed. "My dear, in this life, nobody asks where money comes from. They only respect the person who has it." Lisa didn't like the way that sounded. But she stayed quiet. Weeks passed, and suddenly something changed. Joda began living a completely different life. She started posting pictures online wearing expensive clothes. She carried designer bags. She began going to fancy restaurants. And sometimes, expensive cars came to pick her up. Lisa was confused. One evening she asked her friend directly, "Joda, where is all this money coming from?" Joda smiled proudly. "Connections." Lisa frowned. "What kind of connections?" Joda leaned closer and whispered, "Big men. Deals. Opportunities." Lisa's heart started beating faster. "Joda, what kind of deals?" But Joda waved her hand. "Relax, Lisa. This is the kind of life we always dreamed of." Lisa shook her head slowly. "Something about this doesn't feel right." But Joda didn't want to listen. As time went on, Joda became deeper and deeper involved in dangerous activities. At first, she only delivered packages for some wealthy men. She never asked questions. All she knew was that the money was huge. Soon she started helping them open fake bank accounts. Then she began assisting in online scams. Every time Lisa warned her, Joda laughed. "Lisa, you think too small. This is how people become rich." Lisa looked at her seriously. "Joda, dirty money never lasts." But Joda refused to listen. She continued chasing the life of luxury. Then one night, everything changed. Joda and the group she was working with were caught during a police operation. The authorities had been investigating them for months. Phones were seized. Bank accounts were traced. And several people were arrested. Among them, Joda Okafor. When the news reached her parents, they were completely heartbroken. Mr. Okafor collapsed from shock. Mrs. Okafor cried for days. Neighbors whispered. Friends disappeared. People who once admired Joda's lifestyle suddenly vanished. Within weeks, the entire family reputation was destroyed. Joda had chased money. But now she had lost everything. Her freedom. Her reputation. and even the peace of her family. Meanwhile, Lisa continued struggling honestly. Life was still difficult. She applied for many jobs and received many rejections. But she never gave up. Then one day, something unexpected happened. A company she had applied to months earlier finally called her. They were impressed by her honesty during the interview. Lisa got the job. At first it was small. But Lisa worked harder than anyone else. She stayed late. She learned quickly. And slowly, her life began to change. Years passed. Lisa was promoted several times. She became financially stable. Then eventually, she became very successful. People respected her. Her parents were proud of her. And her life became everything she had once dreamed of. But there was someone she never forgot. One quiet afternoon, Lisa drove to a large prison facility. She walked past the security gates and sat in the visitors area. After a few minutes, a guard brought someone out. It was Joda. She looked completely different. Her once glamorous life was gone. Her eyes looked tired. Her shoulders heavy. When Joda saw Lisa, tears immediately filled her eyes. Lisa gave her a soft smile. "Hello, Joda." Joda lowered her head. "I didn't listen to you." Lisa sat quietly. "I warned you," she said softly. Joda wiped her tears. "I thought money was everything." Lisa shook her head gently. "Money is important, but peace of mind is more important." For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then Lisa reached across the table. "I hope when you come out, you start again. The right way." Joda nodded slowly. "I will." Lisa stood up and walked toward the exit. As she stepped outside into the sunlight, she looked up at the sky and whispered quietly, "Sometimes life teaches us the hard way." And from that day on, people who heard their story remembered one important lesson. Fake life may bring quick money, but it can also destroy everything that truly matters.
If you enjoyed this story, please make sure to follow me and also subscribe to my YouTube channel for more exciting stories.